So hi everybody. I'm yeah, surprised aren't you? Seeing two videos posted. Yeah. My reason because I wanted to, simple as that. I have that was the main reason. Even though I'm literally supposed to style my hair, even though it's like 8:13 right now for me. But it's fine. That can wait a little bit. That can wait. It's all right. At least I will try to post this along with the second video with the first video on Friday. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Tape 3. Okay. One of the men was disturbed by what happened with Ethan, but the other one seemed ruthless and cruel. He screamed at Ethan to shut up or he'll end up like his father. I covered his ears again and yelled at the man for saying such things to a kid. Ethan eventually fell asleep in my arms. His slow, calm breathing was relieving to hear. The man with the hoodie stood in front of me and watched me as I cradled Ethan. I was getting nervous that he was going to do something drastic. My fingers curled into Ethan to get a better grip on him, just in case. We can't keep him. The hooded man spoke. I froze. I lifted my head and said, "You lay one finger on this kid and there will be hell to pay." Period. I hate to admit it, but if they took Ethan, there would be very little I could do. I could yell and try and grab him, but that would lead me getting hurt or killed. Excuse me. The man with the hood sat down next to me. I started to shake and worry he was going to try and get Ethan away from me. I won't take him, but he will. The man pointed to the masked man, who seemed to be having a tantrum. He was yelling gibberish and throwing anything he could around. "He'll have to kill me first," I muttered, squinting at the masked man. "I can't stop him if he hurts you. I wouldn't even be able to if I wanted to," the man said. He shifted to get closer to me. I noticed this and moved the other way to get away from him. Ethan mumbled in his sleep. I started to slowly cradle him, hoping he'd stay asleep. The masked man continued to scream and lash out. I felt Ethan's hand grip my shirt and pull himself upwards towards my head. "Auntie?" he mumbled sleepily. "Shh, Ethan, go back to sleep. You're all right," I said, pulling him into a hug. He hummed in response and I rested my head on top of his. I closed my eyes and sighed deeply. So warning, please. I'm really scared now. I swear I'm gonna be so upset. Like, don't make me cry in chapter 3, man. I just pray and hope that whatever it is not what I think it is. Let's go. Suddenly, Ethan was ripped from my arms. "No!" I cried. I tried getting up, but the guy with the hood pulled me back down. He held me down so hard I could only move my legs. I kicked them around a bit to try to get free, even a little bit. The masked man had pushed Ethan to the ground and was yelling at him violently. "It would be better if you didn't look at it," the hooded man said calmly. "Auntie!" Ethan cried. "Go, Ethan, run!" I yelled. Before Ethan could do anything, the masked man shoved Ethan's face against the ground with his hand and let his palm rest on his face, while the other hand was raised up high. I couldn't see what he held, though. I'm so scared. Oh, tears filled my eyes, and I couldn't use my hands to wipe them away. I did what the hooded man told me to do and let my head hang low as the sounds of grunts and thumping could be heard. It was minutes before it stopped. "Get up," the masked man said. I was pulled up by the hooded man, but then gently pushed in front of him. I didn't look up because I knew if I look up, I looked at Ethan. I'm so scared, bro. This kid, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. Like, that's sad. I'm an emotional person. Why would you do that to me? I was pulled up by the hooded man, then gently pushed him. Yeah, I already read that. "Look at me," the masked man said. I didn't look up. I said, "Look at me." I flinched at his loud voice. My breathing got quick and my heart was in pain with how badly it was pounding against my chest. I whimpered, and he grabbed a fistful of my hair and yanked it towards my face. "Tell us where the SD card is," he growled. "No." I said, "I'm warning you now, lady. Tell us or we'll take you... Oh. Sorry, I thought y'all... Or we'll make your life a living hell," he threatened. "I'm gonna give you one last chance," he muttered. I didn't know what to say. I'm sure they're gonna kill me if I tell them or not. But either way, I'm definitely not gonna tell them where it is. "Fine," I mumbled. I narrowed my eyes and sighed. He let go of my hair, and I let his hands fall. And he let his hands fall to the side. I flushed it down the toilet after watching it. I got scared, and I was interrupted. "You watched them?" the hooded man asked. I nodded. They both looked at each other and then back at me. I was confused. "And you felt fine after watching? Did you feel like someone was watching you or anything like that?" I shook my head. "Tim?" The hooded man whimpered and made head motions towards the door. "Were they gonna leave? If we take her, we're in big trouble, but she didn't get it after we watched it," Tim said, walking back to the hooded man. "We'll have to take her. She could be, We need that SD card," Tim said. "Right. We can always come back to find it." The hooded man sighed and scratched the back of his neck. "Fucking all right, let's go," Tim said, walking past the hooded man. When Tim left, the hooded man quickly made a come here motions with his hands and waited for me to catch up with him. I didn't mean to, but I ended up staring at him for a long time while we walked. He turned his head and caught me. Sorry, it was just... I couldn't find the right words. "It's all right. If the masks you're wondering about them, just don't mind it." I nodded to keep and continue to keep to myself. "So what's your name anyway?" I didn't answer him. "Say it," he demanded suddenly. I nervously said, "You should have said a fake name like I am Material Girl." "My name is Pretty Fuzz." You probably wouldn't even catch it. "It's Wyan," I muttered. He nodded and hummed. What just happened? I swear, man, if they killed that kid, I'm gonna be so sad, bro. Like, I cannot take it. Y'all, so we is in tape 4. But before I say anything, I literally had to look back on tape 3 because I was like, did he actually take them? No, hoodie just pulled her to the side or something as the other guy left. Anyways, tape 4. I noticed the hooded man would glance at me every now and then, not wanting to ask about it. I ignored it. "I'm Hoodie," he says softly. "Hoodie," I said. That was an odd name. "I know it's odd, but it's what I go by now," he muttered. I nodded and shyly fiddled with my fingers. "So where did you put the SD card?" he whispered softly. "I'm not telling you." I growled back. He tusked and shook his head. "Hoodie!" Tim yelled. Hoodie immediately jerked his head up and ran up to Tim. They mumbled and made hand gestures. I looked behind me and stopped in my tracks. I saw the rooftop of my house leaving my sight with only a few steps. She actually went with... Okay. I gulped. "Just run." My body turned. I quickly looked back at the men and they saw that they were still distracted. I sighed and started to run. "Hey!" I heard Tim yell. I ran with all my force. Legs stomped hard against the ground. I let out small grunts with each thrust of my body. I couldn't even bother looking behind me. I saw the rooftop of my house again. A small piece of relief filled my mind, but of course, I'd have to lose these guys. It didn't take long to notice the footsteps getting closer behind me. I, already pushing myself with everything I had, tried to make long distance steps, trying at least reach the road in front of my house. I felt the tips of the man's fingers graze the back of my shirt. I slightly touched my back I let out a small whimper. Thud. I assumed he tried to dive for me and I ended up falling because I only heard one pair of footsteps behind me now. A chuckle filled my lips. Maybe I get away after all. "Gotcha!" I heard. My heart skipped a beat after a second went by and no contact. Then I felt hands grab me and throw me down. I rolled and held my head in my hands. They grabbed my hands and pinned them beside my head. It was Tim. I let out a loud squeal and began wheezing controllably. "You run fast," he said in between short and hitched breaths. He moved his face closer to mine. Tears rolled down my face as I tried to catch my own breath. "But I'm faster." he stated, smirking. That's when I saw he had no mask on anymore. I focused on his features as much as I could. Tan face, dirty brown hair that reached down to his eyebrows, a little facial hair. What are you looking at, girl? He spat, wrapping his hands around my throat, in the process blocking my airway. How are we supposed to answer when you're blocking our airway, dummy? I gasped and choked. I gripped at his hand and tried to push it away. Excuse me. Try to push it away, but to no avail. He continued to apply the same pressure. Hoodie might go easy on you, but I sure as hell won't, he growled. He released my throat and dug his hand into my hair, yanking it backwards and setting my head to jerk up, revealing my throat. He got lower to meet my eyes. His breath was hot and smelled like cigarettes. Yeah. A small memory of my mother popped into my mind. She would always smoke around me when I was a kid. I was forced to smell that horrible stench of smoke. I wheezed hoarsely. I began to feel sick and nauseous. What's wrong? Having trouble breathing? He asked tauntily, pulling my hair once again. I slowly nodded and kept my eyes away from his. I'm starting to calm down when he lifted his body off of me. That's when I made a stupid mistake of getting up and attempting to run again. Girl was like, let's go. Like, bruh, me too. He then grabbed my shirt and pushed me up a nearby tree. How stupid are you? He yelled, holding my shoulders very tightly. I wasn't expecting him to punch me, though. My head jerked and I gasped. Tim then grabbed my face and pulled it towards his. The anger in his eyes was terrifying. A shiver ran down my spine as I felt thick liquid started to drip down my nose. I guess he noticed it too because he then smirked. That's when he attacked me again. Another punch struck my face. It didn't seem to hurt as much as the first one, but it sure did do a lot of damage. Maybe Hoodie was right. It's gonna be a good thing having you around. He chuckled and let his other hand travel from my shoulder to my shirt. He gripped it firmly, while he let his other hand rest by his side. He was much taller than me, most likely bigger too. I was shaking. My legs were about to give out. My hands were tightly wrapped around his hand that was grabbing my shirt. Look at you, filled with fear. Man, it sounded like Pennywise up in here. He purred, with his free hand reaching out to my face. Instinctively, I flinched, but he continued what he was doing anyway. I got so pissed enough to shove him, not enough to push him to the ground, but enough to send him backwards a few steps. He shoved my back, but much harder than mine. My back smacked against the tree, and I held my neck in his hand, and held my neck in his hands again. You little... He was interrupted by Hoodie. That's enough, Masky, he yelled. Tim turned to him for a moment before scoffing and shaking his head and letting my neck go. With blood all over my nose and mouth, I began coughing. Hoodie, we almost lost her, Tim yelled. You know, Tim... I didn't even get to finish my sentence. Don't talk, he screamed at me, pointing his finger at me. I sighed. Hoodie, hold on to her while we walk before I kill her. She's getting on my nerves very quickly, he spat. Hoodie immediately grabbed onto my arm gently, but kept a firm hold. Tim then began to walk in front of us again. God, I was so close. Girl, if you had the sonic zoom power, we would have made it. I glanced back. I could see the gray concrete road just beyond some trees. I didn't see any cars, of course. That road is rarely used anymore. I faced forward. I wiped away the blood from my face and tried not to sniff too hard, not wanting blood to get further up my nose. That's when a small pain started to form on my mouth. I touched all around it, and then I found the source. There was a cut on my upper lip. My fingers left my lips, and instead I started to lick it. It tasted like blood. I sighed once more before wiping my mouth with my sleeve. I turned and saw Hoodie staring at me. Once he noticed I was looking at him, he quickly turned the other way. Huh? What? I asked him harshly. Nothing. Nothing. He mumbled. Do I have another cut somewhere or something? I asked, feeling my face again, but he stopped me. No, he stated, glancing down at his feet. Excuse me. Isn't this man supposed to have a Glock 47? I just shrugged it off. I can't believe this is happening. I really, really wish this is really a detailed nightmare I'm having. Can you tell me where you put the SD card? I shook my head and said, nope. He sighed and scratched the back of his head. I felt his lower hand swift places on my arm. It got lower. I didn't think much of it as I kept telling myself it was going to be okay and that I escaped safely. It wasn't until I felt his fingers wrap around my hand when I realized what he was doing. A small blush creeped onto my face and I looked down at her hands. Is he seriously trying to hold my hand? I yelped and said, "What the fuck?" Excuse me. My water's over there. No water break. I yanked my hand away. Tim turned his head and gave us both a caustic glares. Not wanting to be hit again, I dropped my hand but kept it far apart from his. I didn't want to touch this man like that. I don't know what he's thinking. Sorry, he said. He whispered. I didn't think I heard him right. He sounded so sad, but I don't give a shit if he is. I'm not holding some stranger's hand. He's probably just a creep anyway. God, how old is this guy? I mean, Tim looks like about 20, maybe older, but I haven't seen Hoodie's face yet. He could be an old man under there. I shivered at the thought of me holding a creepy old man's hand ran through my mind. You don't have to fear him, he mumbled. I picked up my head. Huh? I asked. Masky, you don't have to fear him so much. He might be always angry and mean, but I'll make sure he doesn't take it too far. Oh, really? Wow, when he was punching our face and damage and giving that kid emotional damage, you don't think that was far enough? I see how it is. I don't know. There better be a whole miracle up in here that we fall in love with this man. Whole miracle. My goodness, imagine if this is a Masky X reader. I would cry. He stated, was that supposed to make me feel better? Great, I begrudgingly stated. I feel like I was going to faint. All of this was too much for me. I needed to get away. You should just let me go. No, he said in between his teeth. I don't know why I even bothered. Then he would disappear, and we already went all this trouble. We went through all this trouble to get to you, he said very dramatically. I began sweating. A little part of me keeps telling myself that it's all a nightmare and none of this is real. That I just needed to wake up. Hoodie grabbed my wrist. I don't want you to run away again, he mumbled. He also looked away from me. Because of your little runaway plan, we're not even getting close to our destination. It's gonna get dark soon. Okay, excuse me. Because of your little runaway plan, we're not gonna even get close to our destination. It's gonna get dark soon, Tim yelled out. And we both know that we can't be walking out here in the dark, I heard Tim add. Why can't we be out here in the dark? I asked Hoodie. There are things out here, dangerous things. It's just not safe, he said. He then looked at me and said, don't worry, they usually don't bother us. He reassured. I nodded. You okay? I scoffed and said, really? I didn't know I would be okay while I get kidnapped by two men that just killed my brother and his child. Oh my god. Oh my god. Bro, that makes me so sad. I'm glad they didn't give the details, but damn. That breaks hearts, bro. That really breaks my heart. That kid was just and that kid only wanted to bring a gift. I don't know how on earth you fall. I don't know how on earth. Just imagine this is a mask. I would never. Okay, anyway. Really? I didn't know I should be okay while I get kidnapped by two men that just killed my brother and his child. My voice cracked at the end. I felt it up in my throat as I held back tears that were soon to come. I'm sorry, he mumbled. Sure you are, I sarcastically told him, furrowing my eyebrows. I scoffed and wiped my face. He remained silent. Good. I heard water running. I turned and saw the familiar river I always followed. Feeling sad I might never see that river again. Ironic that I always come here when I'm sad, and it would cheer me up, and now I'm looking back at it, it makes me upset. I look away from it, feeling the urge to run away again. I mean, I could, but I would obviously get caught again. I gritted my teeth together. I feel so useless right now. I want to scream and yell and get away from these men. I lifted my head and looked up at the crowded sky. It was clearly getting dark and fast. Where are we gonna stay when it's dark? I asked. I don't know. I'm sure Masky has figured it out. Hoodie said, that's another thing. Why do they have two names? Why is Tim called Masky and why is yours Hoodie? And why is your name Hoodie? What's your real name? I asked, looking from the sky. Don't call him Tim. He hates being called Tim by people. And why do you need to know my real name? Hoodie chuckled a bit after asking me that question. I don't know. I mumbled, shrugging my shoulders, but fully knowing I just wanted their names if I escaped. What's your age? Hoodie asked. That's when I remembered I never told them my age. Tell me your name and I'll tell you my age. I heard him slightly chuckle, then stayed hushed. All right, we need to go somewhere to sleep for the night, Tim said. I saw he turned around. May I remind you guys that we have like bruises all over our face and we are currently bleeding. And if a girl if we bleed long enough, we could die from blood loss. I mean, I'm just saying. Anyway. Hold on. Hoodie nodded, then sighed. Well, obviously we don't have a house to stay in, so our best choice is to sleep in the dark against a tree, Hoodie said, looking around us. Hoodie dragged me towards some small clearing and sat me down next to a tree with him. Hoodie followed us, but didn't sit down. All right, Hoodie, stay with her while I get stuff to start a fire. When he left, the silence felt awkward. I had my back turned to Hoodie, but he still kept my arm in his grasp. I hugged my head low and didn't speak. I heard shuffling from Hoodie, and I saw his mask laying on the ground beside me. I felt him release my hand. I looked over. We're showing our faces now? I looked over and saw his brown eyes staring into mine. His messy dark brown hair was almost reaching down at his nose. Why the hell is he so close to me? So, what's your age? He mumbled softly. I guess already seeing his face, there's no point in hiding it. His real name doesn't matter as much as it did before. 22. Hoodie hummed in response. But when Tim came back, he quickly grabbed my arm once more. All right, Hoodie, you know what to do. I'll take the girl. Oh, no, Tim said, throwing down his bundle of sticks and reaching into his pocket, pulling out a lighter. Can't you do it? Hoodie replied, tightening his grip on my arm. No, I don't know how to get... I don't want to now. Get up and I'll hold her down. He spat. Hoodie growled and got up. Tim gripped my arm and sat down next to me. I sighed deeply, clearly annoyed with his presence. I would be rephrasing that and saying clear hatred for his presence. Yes, beautiful. That was gorgeous. It wouldn't hurt to read one more chapter. Tape 5. My head rested against the tree behind me. Tim's grip loosened as he slowly fell asleep in place. I went too quickly to get up as soon as I turned away. I became face to face with Hoodie. I gasped and fell back a little. Shh, it's okay, it's just me, he whispered. I slowly nodded, and I saw his hand slowly touch my thighs. Okay, this man needs to relax. He leaned in. I moved back and smacked his hands away. Don't touch me, I spat. He hummed in response, but didn't move back. He stayed close to me. My heart raced. I didn't want him near me. I don't want anyone near me. Get away, I said. Hoodie chuckled and said, well, it's either Masky or me. Masky isn't in the best mood right now. Hoodie snickered. I hate to say it, but I might have to stay with Hoodie for the night. I sighed and shook my head. Fine, I growled. So I moved. I got up completely and found a spot near Hoodie, but not too close. I crossed my legs and opened my hands in front of me. The fire's heat gave me chills, but it was soothing. I closed my eyes and sighed softly. I know you don't want to be here, but you can't go back, ever. Hoodie muttered, sitting down next to me. I scooted a bit away from him. He had gotten too close. Wow, thanks, I said sarcastically. No, what I mean is, it's just that while you're with us, you should just loosen up a little. Oh, loosen up. This man really wants a rant to his face for reals. Anyway. I scoffed and turned to him. You really expect me to enjoy being around cold-blooded killers? I shook my head once more and moved away from him a little more. What I did notice was Hoodie inching his way towards me when I wasn't looking. Just please listen. I interrupted him. No, stop talking. I spat, clearly more upset than I already was and wasn't about to deal with this man's bullshit. If you could just listen to me. He tried to start again, but I wasn't having it. No. I growled. I recommend you being nice to us before we torture you until you tell us where it is. He growled. Got it? He asked. Wow, what a good way to start a quote unquote relationship up in here. Man needs some real better advice for reals. Got it? He asked. I slowly nodded my head in agreement. I wanted to scream so badly right then, but I knew it would only anger him more. And, Tim. That's when I felt something inside me snap. It felt like a water balloon. It felt like a water balloon popping. Anger spilled and filled my whole body. I shoved Hoodie away from me, and he fell backwards harshly, but he caught himself. See, nothing but trouble. I heard Tim, and I turned to him and growled, shut it. What did you say to me? What did you just say to me, girl? Tim spat. Hoodie quickly shushed him. Masky, quiet. We don't know what's out there, he said in a whisper. Masky stopped and crossed his arms. I'm going to sleep. Both of you, don't touch me. Don't go near me. Don't even look at me while I'm sleeping, I said, getting up and going to the furthest tree away from them. Unfortunately, the clearing we picked didn't have much space, so we were clumped together. Feeling the warm air leave my body, I sighed. Oh no. Go either sit next to me or next to Hoodie. I don't trust you by yourself after you try to run away the first time. Tim spat at me, making hand gestures in the process. I didn't exactly want to move. I wanted my own space from both of these unsettling men. So I crossed my arms and lifted my shoulders. No, I said blankly. Excuse me? Tim growled, getting up from his spot. Masky, calm down. I'll take care of it. But Tim denied his request. No, I need to show her we're not people to mess with. Once Tim came to my spot, we made eye contact and nothing more. He was trying to intimidate me and scare me, but obviously it didn't work. At least I didn't know that it did. Get up now, he said through his teeth. No. I dragged out the word. Then I saw that his hand jerked to grab me, but stopped. His other hand gripped his head, like he was he called out what he seemed like pain. I confusedly watched as Hoodie came over and placed his hand on Tim's back. Go sit down. You need your medicine, and being angry won't help it, Hoodie murmured. Excuse me. Tim gave me a dirty look before leaving to go back to his spot. Hoodie then sat down next beside me and elbowed me a bit to get my attention. Hey, what? I asked loudly, not caring to whisper among with him. I'm going to sleep next to you, all right? I'm not going to touch you. I'm not going to do anything to you, so calm down and go to bed. I think she would die from that, but okay. I rolled my eyes, then shifted myself about a foot away from him. I don't think I plan on running away anytime soon. Whatever. I don't care if I mumbled. I don't care if I think Hoodie is nicer than Tim. I still don't want anyone near me. But I guess this will have to do. I didn't plan on going to sleep at all, so I made it look like I did. After a while, I began to hear the conversation. We should just kill her. What good is she doing to us? She knows where the SD card is. We need it, he added. We could have just tortured her until she admits. I'll happily do it. I'll happily do that. Tim growled, no need for that. We could just threaten her and bluff. She seems on the edge with us. We could just... Hoodie stopped mid-sentence. Oh no. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh my gosh. My heart began to beat faster as I felt his aura come closer. I'm gonna go take a leak. Tim grumbled, getting up and moving on. I didn't want my body to tense up, so I remained calm. My breathing was steady and my body seemed limp. I didn't know whether to stay like this or come clean. I know you're awake, YN. I growled and opened my eyes, picking up on my arms and trying to push him away from me, but his weight was too much for me. He still leaned in. All right, you caught me, now leave me alone, I stated, trying to hide my face by turning the other way. It's weird to have a strange man leaning over you. I said, leave me alone. If you keep acting like this, Tim will eventually snap and kill you. He muttered. I didn't want to be treated like this. I mean, who knows how long I'm going to be stuck with these two. We will leave you alone if you tell us where the SD card is, Hoodie murmured. I thought for a minute. If you made a copy what was in the SD card, then you would be free to go, girlfriend. They can't remember every single recording they had on that. Come on, let's think about it. If I give them the card, they might return me back home, but the cops might think I killed my brother and his son if I'm all there alone. They could easily just kill me afterwards anyway. I've seen both of their faces. I want these bastards caught for their horrific and sick actions. No, I know you're bluffing, I stated, still not making eye contact with him. I felt sick to my stomach. I'm just extremely anxious and filled with anxiety due to these two. Hoodie reached his hands behind his head and looked up to the darkness surrounding us. Tim had been gone for a long time. I hope that fucker got what he deserves. Yeah, you told me about his sister. Hoodie released his hands from behind his head and sat up completely. He looked around us. I wasn't sure why he'd expect him to show up after being gone for so long. Didn't you say there were things out there in the dark? Yeah, but they probably wouldn't attack Masky. He's quiet enough to sneak around them if he had to. What type of things? Because I'm sure there's only coyotes. My ears twitched to the sound of leaves being crunched behind me. I quickly spun around. Hoodie got up as well and walked in front of me. I stood up and waited. Can you see what it is? I asked quietly. No, Hoodie said blankly. I nervously watched as Hoodie tilted his head to get a better look. I felt two hands grab onto my shoulders. I screamed and pushed whoever was behind me, sending me to the ground and Hoodie into a panic. Ha! Like, ha, ha, ha. I heard that damn low voice. It was Tim. Man, you get scared so easily, Tim yelled, laughing again. My cheeks puffed up, and I clenched my hands into fists. That wasn't funny. I seriously thought I was gonna get hurt. Quit it, Masky. Why should I? He asked, raising an eyebrow. You could have hurt her, and besides, there could be things near us. They probably heard that scream. Hoodie reached out to his hand, expecting me to grab it. I didn't. I got up myself and crossed my arms, clearly mad at Tim for doing that, for doing what he did so carelessly. What's wrong with you? I asked. Masky pushed through the Hoodie and stomped over to me. I backed away from him until I couldn't anymore. Watch it or we'll feed you to things out there, he threatened. Masky? I heard Hoodie in a warning tone of voice. You never have fun, Tim complained. All right. Hoodie hummed as a response and walked over to me, whispering, You okay? I just moved my gaze away from him. I didn't want to talk to anyone. Oh, well, look at that, darlings. Seems to me that a girl is being quite realistic, mostly. I appreciate that, because not a lot of stories be like that, you know. I'm really upset that the kid had to die. I mean, man, like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know, man. I just don't know. I mean, I don't think the creepypastas like would like, you know, I obviously think they're not below killing a kid, but you know, still kind of gets me in my feels sometimes, because I'm like, damn, that sucks. That's really sad. But yeah, anyways, let me know what you guys think will happen next. Will our girl die sooner than later, or will we somehow survive Tim/Masky's assholery? Because I'm telling you, this man has the biggest asshole in the world, bro. It's bigger than this whole damn universe. At this point, I don't know how he even lives. His butthole must be so far away into another damn galaxy, because he just couldn't fit in this universe. Anyways, yeah, let me know what you think is gonna happen to our girl. Will Hoodie and her eventually connect more? Will she somehow make amends with Tim/Masky? I doubt it, though. Maybe her and Hoodie will, I guess, kind of get connected, but him threatening her randomly, I don't think that will help them. Obviously, not at all. Um, and also to the point where I'm like, I mean, it would have been kind of smart if you were somehow able to copy the videos onto your computer, and then you just give them back the SD card, and then you would quickly put those videos out to the police, and then tell them all the details, juicy details you got. And really, that's it. I don't know why they're taking her. I mean, she literally said she flushed it down the toilet. So, I mean, you're probably going to have to get through her, though, pipes. So, I don't know. It's really upsetting of what happened. She's probably mourning through that a lot. It's really sad for her. Hopefully, Tim/Masky gets his ass hurt. Let's just say that. Anyways, y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more amazing videos, guys. Yo, girl got to go and do her hair. You know, material girl. But anyways, see you guys. Bye and peace.